both Republican presidents and Democratic presidents, over the past few decades enjoy more and more power at the expense of Congress that does less and less. Nobody knows that better than Patrick Leahy, senior senator from Vermont, president pro tem of the Senate, author of the new book, The Road Taken. It's good to see you, sir. We appreciate that. I go back to January 3rd, 1975, when you entered Congress. What's changed in that Congress has so much less power and wields so much less power and cedes so much of it to the presidency?
I think it's been a slow diminution of power, and I think that's a mistake of the Congress, certainly of the Senate. When I came there, we actually debated things. Republicans and Democrats worked together to try to find, if there are areas they agree with the president, then to support that. But if they had disagreement, they'd come up with their alternative. I know I've passed a lot of legislation, which was not something the various administrations and both parties were going to do, but they agreed to it after we passed it. But it required going and working, getting Republicans and Democrats together. We used to do that all the time. There's less and less of it now. There's more partisanship, and there is less looking at the facts of what's going on, but what was the latest tweet? What was the latest soundbite on the news? And people rally around that.
Yeah.
I think you saw the worst part of this on January 6th, when you had people streaming through the Capitol, injuring police officers. In fact, some died as a result, and they're screaming, but we have this constitutional right to be here. We're following the Constitution. Well, none of these people have ever read the Constitution, and if they did, they'd find they had no right to go in. And
Senator, I wanted you mentioned sort of the divisive partisanship. I loved reading the book. More importantly, I like looking at some of the pictures. The picture you took of Ronald Reagan, his second inauguration. I'll read what you wrote here. President Reagan said that this photo I took of his second inauguration was his favorite, and happily told people it was taken by a Democrat. There's the picture right there. Could a Republican president say his favorite picture was taken by a Democrat these days?
I'm not sure they could, but I know President Reagan did. In fact, he called me in and signed it. He had the Republican leader, Bob Dolby, there, and he wrote a handwritten note on it, long handwritten note, and thanked me for taking his favorite photograph. And he made sure that the Republican senators who were standing there heard him say that.
Huh. Things have changed. I want to get you, you've served longer than anyone else has currently on the United States Senate, President pro tem of the Senate. As you look back, is that the best for the country, that we have people who stay in Washington for 40 plus years? Would it be time to consider the idea of term limits, if not at the federal level, that states could themselves decide?
Well, we do have term limits every 6 years in the
Fair
Senate. You can vote that every 2 years in the House. We've had it in our state since 1960, even though we were before then a totally Republican state. We've had every other governor has been a Democrat. They alternate between Democrat and Republican. It's worked out well for the state, but people actually vote. And when I ran, I was told that, well, in our state, the only state in the union that never elected a Democrat, never elected anybody under 50. That was a 34-year-old Democrat, 33 when I announced. And they said, okay, kid, you can have the nomination. Nobody else wants it. It's useless.
Wow.
I went out and convinced people that I was the one they want. Now I have strong bipartisan support. In fact,
you do indeed.
Outpouring of mail from Vermonters saying, please don't retire. Well, my wife and I like a little bit more time together.
You know, it's funny. I'm glad you brought Marcel up, because I just was realizing that tomorrow is yours and Mrs. Leahy's anniversary. Congratulations. There's one of the pictures. As I read through the book, The Road Taken, I thought to myself how important it was to you and the great credit you give her for having her at your side.
Well, I couldn't have taken this road without her, and that's the way I dedicated the book. We took it together. You know, we got married very young. She was just graduated as a registered nurse. I was in law school. There was a basement apartment. They called it early law school poverty. But we always did things together, and we loved doing things together. And now we'll have more time to go back to one thing we really enjoy doing, and that's scuba diving.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.